to like the Middle East to like the border and like, ma'am, I don't know.
Trafficking and all of
Right. I don't know.
Yes, it's real.
Hold on one second, y'all. Listen. We got people in the audience here today, right? If you are feeling what Kim is talking about, please put a 5 in the chat right now. If you're feeling what Kim is talking about, put a 5 in the chat. If you disagree with what Kim is talking about, please put a 6 in the chat.
I'm pretty sure she hit every special interest group. Like, how could you not feel what she talked about her black friends. She talked about Martin Luther King. She talked about sex traffickers. She talked about CNN. She talked about fucking everybody.
Yeah, and all you guys do is talk about Trump derangement syndrome all day long. This is a TDS network. The Million Man Marathon is dedicated to making fun of Donald Trump because they are pathetic. You are all Trump derangement syndrome.
I do have a question for Kim, though.
Let's go, Lenny.
I promise I won't be long-winded. Kim, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I see
Okay, let me ask you
5 and
this.
some 6s. Great. It's good.
Yeah, so let me ask you one question. I'm going to go on mute. Do you like watermelon?
I love watermelon. Then we needed some humor, guys. We need to laugh. We need to really care about what's about to happen to our country.
No, but honestly, Kim, I'm hearing what you're saying, right? Perhaps you have black friends that are aligning with your ideas. But the fact of the matter is, you didn't sell me on what Trump is able to do for the country. Should he become our president in 2025? So I'm gonna give you one more chance, right? Sell me. Me as a black minority, me as a minority in America, right? Hell, I'm not even gonna say this. Like, me as a man in America, what could Trump do for me and my family in 2025?
You know what? I don't normally get on top, shows like this because I would love to be able to put some 2-minute videos up. Okay, you're right. You don't need to speak as a black man. You need to speak as a man, an American in our country. We need to care about what's about to happen because I'm telling you.
Right.
I know
so speak to the specific, right? Because I know that you kind of give us a good idea of what Kim thinks and why Kim thinks that way. But what I want to know is very specific, right? What do you think the guy is going to be able to do in that current predicament that we're in right now? Should he become our president?
They think that nobody and nothing.
How about that fucking Arsenal game? I didn't watch it. Oh my God.
Bollocks, what happened at the Arsenal game?
They fucking tied, you retard.
Well, who really cares? It's nothing to do with one's life's choices.
I love the fact that you even brought me up.
So Kim, I appreciate you, right, Kim? I totally appreciate you, and thank you for that explanation. But it's also why today I can't support the guy because there's nothing that I can like. What DC was saying earlier, right? There's no certified fight to be had with that conversation because, quite frankly, there is nothing that the guy is able to provide us better than Biden, right? Biden is doing his thing. Biden fucks up a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, Biden is able to provide us with something, right? Something tangible that we're essentially able to say that he was able to do for the nation. But I can't do the same for Trump, man. At least not right now. You know what I mean?
Can I just say something? You guys, are you there, Divine and the God?
Yeah, we here. Let's go, Lisa. What's
Okay,
happening?
so
We're
doing it again. I'm going to do it. So you let Kim, thank you, Kim, for coming up and
remove your mic. Okay, you know what? I see what you're about. I see your flag.
She talks for like 6 minutes and no list. And you guys keep on letting it go every single time. Every single time. If you're going to come on stage and say you have a list and you work for the Pentagon and all these things, don't you send a list? I don't even want to see credentials. I just say, Ken, We hear the list after 5 minutes because I've got the list simmering. I'm sizzling on the back stove right here, Biden's list. But why we always do that? Why we always let people come up and say they got the list and they got the facts, but they never produce it? Oh man, thank you. And thanks whoever took my green bean. Thank you. Now I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Well, let's vote on it. Let's vote on it, Lisa. I mean, I hope, hopefully you swipe right and you don't want to sell to the audience because we don't take it. We love you. But anyway, right?
I didn't swipe.
If you want to hear the list, if you want to hear this list, right? If you want to hear this list, please put a 1 in the chat. The infamous list of Donald Trump's accomplishments or his forecast.
Put a number 3 in the chat if you think that the Million Man Marathon is a Trump derangement syndrome episode. It is chronic TDS. You're all brainwashed.
If you don't want to hear the list and you want to hear what Biden is going to accomplish in 2024, let's say put a 4 in the chat. All right? Put a 4 in the chat for Biden, a 1 in the chat for Trump. And this is agenda for 2024.
But DC already listening.
You kind of in the
Yeah, put a number 3 in the chat if you think that this room is a Trump derangement syndrome room. It's an echo chamber of TDS.
That idiot comes
I put it down.
He has no.
Stop bringing him
So I see a bunch of 4s, I see some 1s. It's kind of mixed. No, I see a lot of 1s. I see a lot of 1s. Hold on, I see a lot of 1s. Yo, listen, okay, so listen. We need a Trump supporter. We need a Trump supporter on stage that's going to stand on business. We need a Trump supporter on stage that's going to stand on business. We need the agenda for 2024.
Put in the chat if Diddy killed Biggie.
Yeah, sure, guy. Go ahead. Put it in the Trump because you're down with it. But look, if we have a firm Trump supporter, can we just get an agenda? I mean, can we just get like 5 items? 5 things that Trump is going to accomplish in 2024, and 5 reasons that we should overlook all of the indictments, right? The liabilities, the sexual assault, just everything. Just give us the reasons.
Let me say this, Ru. You know, we've been waiting for this list from Trump supporters for a long time now, and we'll probably be waiting until eternity. Okay, it's gonna come back before we get a list. But there's some stuff like I just mentioned his accomplishments. We didn't even talk about the cancer moonshot. Like that's one of the most inspirational things. Like, say what you want to say about Joe Biden. The man has been touched by things that we as Americans, everyday Americans, are touched by on a daily basis. He has established the cancer moonshot. He's established a committee in the White House to actually promote and advocate for studying and curing cancer. That's inspirational. That's beyond like economics. That's beyond race. That's beyond like the partisan banter that we regularly get into when we talk about politics. This man has actually put a moonshot on the field to say we're going to cure cancer. That's inspirational as shit. That's stuff we can look forward to under the Biden administration. That's stuff that touches Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, all of it. He's actually reduced the price of health, of the cost of prescription drugs. That's something that touches Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Libertarians all together. Insulin cost has been capped. Like, you can't say that's a partisan thing that just helps liberals. That helps Republicans and everybody in general. So listen, there are things that the Biden administration is advocating for. Family leave when it comes to like, you know, situations where you have like a new birth or a new child in the family. Universal family leave. These are actual things that can help. He's actually advocated for his campaign and his administration and moved forward on increasing the child earned income tax credit. That's going to help families across the board. I'm driving, so y'all know I'm not reading off a list. I'm sure if I had a list, it would be even stronger than this. This is just shit I can recall from memory. Like, I'm driving down 95 going back to Philadelphia. Like, this is the shit that sticks with you. When you go in the voting booth and you're looking at what can the Trump can do for us and what can Biden do for us. This is the shit that comes to mind. Like, that's some inspirational shit. My mom passed away of cancer. So I know how important that subject is to individuals, right? That is looking for hope, that's been diagnosed with terminal cancer or been diagnosed with cancer in general. That shit means a lot. So when we're talking about candidates that can actually speak to the future, what the future agenda is, and who's speaking to like inspirational things, such as child and earned income tax credit, that's gonna help families to pay the bills, right? All of this shit kind of goes together. We're talking about the increase in the minimum wage, okay? Earning a livable wage is very important in areas like New York City and California, right? Where minimum wage is not kept up with the cost of living. His administration is advocating for that. Criminal justice reform, okay? These are the things that matter most to people, and he's advocated for it. He made progress towards achieving goals on those issues. And I yield.
TC,
Okay,
this is
great.
just the CHIPS Act.
I've been waiting to speak.
Did you not speak already once today?
I needed to speak on what he was saying.
I'm waiting to speak.
So I had typed it in the chat a while ago. I was wanting to speak.
Okay, go ahead. Go
No.
ahead.
Hold on. If you got some solid agenda points for Trump, then we're gonna pass the mic to you right now. We need to find out some scoring points for Trump right now.
That's what I'm trying to do.
TC,
Okay,
let me challenge you on something, right? You say that he's all for, curing cancer and everything, right? But why are there laws? Why is it they're stopping stem cell research when stem cells and people who actually donate them, especially when you've given birth and you have your umbilical cord, I actually donated mine for research so people, and I had some on reserve as well.
Not surprised.
So there's no need for the commentary at the peanut gallery, thank you. But I actually believed in that wholeheartedly because you never know if there's some time in the future when they freeze that or they put it in storage that one day my children or I may need something and that's where they have them. So with that being said is that if you have cancer research and you have people trying to cure cancer, but you have all these laws in place that Biden's not really looking into, but Trump is, like if Trump is trying to actually find the actual cure, and if you're going to sit there and say that Biden's supposed to be the best president, he's supposed to do this and do that, it is so chaotic under his administration right now because it's like a fucking three-ring circus because of everything that he's done. If Trump comes back into power, into place, and I was never a Trump supporter, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but he is our only fucking hope for humanity, to God. You know what I mean? Everybody. He is our only hope to get out of this because war is upon us right now. It's eventually going to come to the United States.
Can I ask
you a
question?
Can I finish, please? I'm trying to stick up for Trump. I'm trying to land. Don't interrupt me like a queen.
Listen. Hold on.
I bring one fact and
I'm trying to
the red state are the ones that are trying to stop
hold your belly though now.
I have
when
a
she says
question.
something that y'all don't like, y'all can't just jump off your bike.
She needs
I
to
just have
land.
a quick question,
Trump
please.
is our only
Let her
hope
land.
to stop all of this animosity and all this war that's happening, that's going on right now. If he was in office right now, none of this shit would have happened. He'd have very good ties with Putin. Can you let me talk?
Yeah,
He
but
had
no,
very
because you're
good
not
ties
answering the
with
question,
Putin. He was
ma'am,
friends with
ma'am,
Putin.
ma'am,
my
you're not
God.
answering the question. We asked for a
He
list.
asked, God asked.
No, he asked for a list. That's what we asked for. And the fact for you to say that they want to stop stem cell research, no, you need to check it out. It's the red states.
That's a fact.
Your own party.
Alabama.
Your own party that wants to stop it. Like, you're tripping right now. Again,
But
you're not
you don't
listening.
even give me a
Yeah.
chance to explain
Still
something,
not
and I get
listening.
cut off constantly.
You're
I'm not even
You're not answering the question.
You actually
Okay,
have
ma'am,
to look at.
ma'am, we
You
asked
never let me finish. I'm never coming back to
we
this
have-
room again because you
okay.
never let me talk.
That's was a
See,
good
you
time.
go on to that. He's trying to make a point.
Leave it now.
In politics,
Okay,
everybody says
all
they're
right,
going to
ma'am,
agree to do one thing, but they don't.
I'm gonna let you land. But again, Lisa said it, the God said it. This is your opportunity to list some agenda facts. What is it? You keep saying what Biden's doing. What is your guy
I
going
said
to the
Trump
people in the back.
believes in family unity. He believes in keeping jobs. Trump believes in family unity, whether you believe it or not, okay? Trump
And he's going to secure the border, most importantly of all. Secure the border, Trump.
He believes in fixing the economy. He believes in people giving people jobs. He believes in the medical system.
Okay, that's
He
enough,
wants to stop
Aurora.
people
My
from fucking.
They finally kicked me out of the room. It's a big compliment because it's such a big room. It means I really got him. I got to him that time. I think I really helped penetrate their psyche. What do you think, Michelle? You think I'm doing God's work? Hello?
Yeah, I can possibly speculate.
Hey, KB.
Hey,
I just got out of work. Hey, lady. What you guys up to?
I ain't doing number sitting there writing. I ain't doing number watching tags.
Hey, mom. Look at the work.
Grand Phoenix Rising. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello? Hi, this is Illinois Bell. I'm sorry, the number you have tried to reach is disconnected.
Is this movie phone? I'm trying to call movie. Is this a telephone operator? I'm trying to call movie phone.
Sorry, your number has been disconnected. Please reconnect your caller and the number.
Man, he loves his Depeche Mode. I hate Depeche Mode.
Momentum is very simple. There's been thousands of years of Jewish presence in the land. Oh, good, he left. In 1947, they were offered state as part of.
Oh,
I kicked myself out.
What happened?
Yeah, so they were offered state as part of the partition plan. They rejected it, as you know. 5 nation armies tried to attack Israel and kill all the Jews. And I'm talking to Hamilton. And since then, they've been trying to do it again and again and again. They lost all the war.
Interrupt you 1 moment. Mike, I don't want the room recorder in the room right now. Can you get rid of the Jefferson?
Riboino Shaloy Loy. Hampton is putting this on his YouTube, so kick Hampton too.
Just like, we've controlled, with Sun Queen, we've controlled that aspect of nature. We're going
Riboino Shaloy Loy.
Oh, yeah. What's up, man?
I came to check in on your life choices. Hello?
And your question?
My question is hello?
Hello. Hi, back to you.
I'm just saying that life backwards is evil or evil. And so it is a question of one's evil choices in life, which one must consider. Hello? Hello? That was a choice. Hello?
I thought that was pretty good. I actually thought that was pretty good. Well done. To the point where I'm numb to like.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm keeping it bucket.
Oh my god.
Don't entertain these people, bro.
Hello?
If they say you broke, say, Bucky, I am broke.
Hello?
Shit, I can go in my closet.
I just think that.
Look out, Ish is a Mossad agent. He contracted with Mossad 2 months ago. Look out. He was selling Gucci on the street in Brooklyn. They picked him up off the streets and said, you want to be a Mossad agent and stop selling Prada and Versace? He said, fuck yeah, no.
Yo, shout out to Jefferson. Jefferson is a good friend of mine. He supports Israel, though, unfortunately. So, you know.
I support the concept of Israel. I support trolling, and therefore I have to support the Jewish people.
That's for you. Are you supporting the Zionists?
Yes, of course.
You have to be ashamed then.
You have to take the position of the contrarian. The Jews are the contrarian position. They're the outliers, so they're the underdog. You got to support the underdog.
Jews are one hell of a underdog.
The one who is killing women and children, and you support it.
Well, I don't support killing anyone. I support trolling. And if that means being a troll, then trolls are going to kill sometimes. That's a fact. Trolls kill.
Jefferson's a slick one. He be on this app talking about hypnosis. You know what I'm saying? He's also a con artist. The first time I met this guy, I was in a room with a celebrity chick. And, you know, he was basically stealing someone's identity, playing as though he was someone he wasn't. And, of course, everyone fell for it. I'm sitting there texting the woman about how, like, you know, she should try to see if she could secure a business deal with this guy. Little did we know this guy's a fucking, you know, senior citizen white guy on Clubhouse, just fucking wasting people's time. Taking pictures on his neck. His fucking cheeks in the air. He's a comedian. He's a comedian. In his own right.
Zionist comedian, yeah.
Is that your own picture next to Barack Obama?
Yeah, that was taken at my palatial estate in Beverly Hills. Have you heard of P. Diddy and Barack Hussein Obama? They two powerful black magicians. Ish is trying to become a powerful black magician, but he fails to realize that racial identity politics mean nothing to a powerful, dark, MAGA Sith Lord like Barack Hussein Obama or P. Diddy. When you kill Biggie and you kill Tupac and take their souls, it's like that movie There can be only one Highlander. You see what I'm saying? Same with Barack Hussein Obama. He's a CIA assassin. And when you kill a lot of people, you become very powerful. More powerful than you can possibly imagine, Darth Vader. Ask Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, White, where do you live in the U.S.? Where do you live? In which city?
I was born in Uranus, and I live in Uranus, and I work in Uranus.
Yo, I had a guy who worked for the IRGC, true story, tried to come kill my neighbor. I swear to God. I was living in Brooklyn, and this lady, some Iranian lady, she used to like encourage girls in Iran to not wear the hijab or whatever, and like basically instigate, lawlessness, because I guess it's law out there for women to maintain a certain conduct. And this dude showed up to her door. He knocked on it. She didn't answer. I lived like literally like a couple houses away from her at the time. And long story short, he had like an AK-47 in his car. She wasn't there, and the FBI came. They arrested him. But that was like an interesting day on my block. I've never seen so many federal agents.
This is all online beefs. And even in the Middle East, these Palestinians and these Jews, these Muslims and these Jews, they're beefing online. They're creating fake accounts, friending these people. It's never-ending beefs. It's the same squabbles in the streets. It's gang-on-gang violence. And that's what's happening in the Middle East. It's gang-on-gang violence. It's tribe-on-tribe violence. And it's archaic and stupid. And it's terrorism, mostly. It's trolling. It's murderous, rampant violence. And I mean, I don't think anybody in this room has ever lived their life like that. I don't think so. I hope not. But, some people have to repent for criminal actions. When you kill somebody or hurt somebody, that is the ultimate violation of the law. Everything below that is civil and financial. Whenever you hurt somebody or physically attack somebody, is there any other worse thing you can really do in this world?
That's exactly what your master is doing. I mean, Israelis are doing that with children and women. How about that? How do you feel?
Well,
Jews killing women and children. So don't you feel guilty?
No, I don't feel guilty about it. My point is, it's individuals that have to live. You guys can use big terms like Zionism, Israel, it doesn't matter. It's individuals that have to account to God or have to make, atonement for their sins. If you kill somebody and you got to go to sleep at night knowing that you killed some little girl, it's probably a difficult sleep, Once you're sober and you're not high on adrenaline or fentanyl or whatever these soldiers use to go out there and, go room to room and kill people. So, I'm just saying it's not an easy thing to sleep with at night, knowing that, you killed children. But if you killed some asshole with an AK-47 who was about to blow your fucking head off, I mean, I could probably go to sleep pretty easily knowing that I'm alive and that guy is dead. But that's the thing about women and children where, you go up, whoopsie, now my psychology is all fucked up. And that's why a lot of soldiers who came back from the Middle East, some of them may have killed themselves because they couldn't live with the images of, knowing, the accidents that they did. But it's pretty rare, I think, in terms of combat. It's not a big percentage of soldiers that deal with those psychological after effects of knowing that they killed women and children intentionally, even, because that's probably the biggest mind fuck. How do you live with the thought of knowing that you intentionally killed women and children? It's a pretty hard thing to live with.
I think war is something about it. It produces like the most radical people. Like even some of the soldiers I spoke to on the internet that say served in Iraq, ideologically, right? They may profess things that don't align with the decisions that they've made in their past. But then when you ask them about those decisions, how did you feel about, being in Iraq and helping steal oil and, just essentially contributing to a crime?
Yeah, but it's not about stealing oil or committing a crime.
So many of them are just innocent kids. They're just looking to get some education.
Yeah, they're looking to get the fuck out of bumblefuck.
Politics.
Exactly.
Pisses me off.
Exactly. Some kid from fucking Timbuktu in Missouri had nothing to do with it, and he had no idea what he was getting himself into. It's like joining the mafia without knowing you're joining the mafia.
Well, here's the thing. These guys, right, they understood, like, the role that they played in this whole conspiracy. But, like, after, having a fight for your life against nothing but a particular kind of human being, like, they wear a specific kind of clothing, they talk a kind of way, they have certain fragrances that come out of their culture, after just encountering countless individuals from this group trying to kill you, right? I think it just does something to people to where, like, even though they realized, like, ideologically they didn't agree with, I guess, what they were doing in theory, when they spoke about it, it's just like, no, fuck it, they're ragheads. These sand niggers, this, that, and the third. We just had to kill them. We had to kill them.
Yeah, but in terms of the history of human killing, if you go back 2,000 years total and you analyze World War II, World War I, and you analyze the killing fields of Europe, and you see the indiscriminate murdering of, essentially royalists doing bum rushes or mass rushes and killing 10,000, 15,000, 25,000 young men. Those losses in terms of the human race and the incompetence of ruining people's lives like that, the people responsible for ruining people's lives. I mean, justice unfortunately never does seem to come, I gotta say, because if that was true, Hillary Clinton and a lot of other cocksucks in the U.S. government when Trump was president would have been arrested and brought up on, international war crime trials or stuff like that, or Trump would have arrested Obama, things to that extent, because that's the unraveling. But Trump didn't unravel. He just doubled down. And in many ways, that's good strategy. There's no point in unraveling a machine that shouldn't be unraveled. You can't take the oil out of this engine. If you do, the whole world collapses.
But at the end of the day, there is conflict of interest between the states and Iran. And that part of the world, like by Mediterranean, was controlled at some point by Romans, at some point by Ottoman Empire. It's just like whoever controls that part, it's in charge of the planet, technically. And this is not going to go away.
I don't know how true that is, but I hear you.
No one is technically in control of the planet. Everyone is essentially order followers to a fascist regime government in a major city-state where a hive technically forms around it. It's true in every country in the world that has a seat at the UN. Technically, it's a microcosm, or it's an index of, these countless small countries. It's all metaphored in the Star Wars movies. The New Hope one with the Empire and the Galactic Empire and all this shit. It's all in the fucking Star Wars movies. And we are LARPing the Star Wars movies day to day, all the way. And reality is in the Star Wars movies. That's why those movies came out, because those movies came out during the Iraq-Afghanistan conflicts, where, especially even this movie Dune, Arrakis and the spice must flow, whether that's a metaphor for cannabis or oil, it's irrelevant. It's about commodities, commodification, controlling assets, controlling resources. Controlling fiat currency is the biggest scam in the world. There is no more of an immoral scam than fiat currency, because that's the mass replication of artwork, or essentially cloning art, and shit rolls downhill. So when the Federal Reserve prints up another $1 trillion, the people in Nairobi or Kenya or South Africa or Israel or Russia or anywhere, everyone is technically impacted by US dollar velocity. If you go to us.collect.org, you can see the true financial picture of America. It's basically a bankrupt bank protected by Fort Knox with a military that can't be stopped. So you tell me, when does the empire ever end? I don't think it'll end in my lifetime. I think this Ponzi scheme, aka this, Fugazi scam,
is just going to go on until at least the day I die, at least. I mean, it'll never stop until Washington, D.C. and New York City and Wall Street and all that shit are blown off the face of the fucking map in an intercontinental ballistic missile strike. Nothing will change. The military-industrial complex of $3.3 trillion a year will continue marching on until there's nuclear Armageddon. There's no other way to stop the current predicament or situation for everybody involved.
It may change if someday a better system than capitalism came about. Otherwise, I don't think it doesn't exist right now, but capitalism is gonna go on for now. But in regards to the nuclear arm that you're saying, the US has enough weapon to blow up the planet over and over. So, it's just not...
Maybe. No one really knows whether these nuclear bombs can do what they say they can do, but we know that through YouTube videos and the Tsar Bomba, and the fact that I know a guy who actually builds and engineers nuclear bombs. My point is, to use one, has to be done in like a Hollywood setting where the war is going really bad. And, Johnny Armageddon gets that operation to go carry out that nuclear strike on Tokyo or whatever fucking city that the international superpowers. But the whole thing is so diversified. The whole world is highly organized in such a way where we are living in the highest civilizational time in human history. I just read today that the head of the Hamas, his 3 sons were killed in like a drone strike. So this is looking just like Saddam Hussein and Uday Qusay, where all this shit gets fucking wiped under the rug, everything gets broomed and mopped up, and that's the end of it. I mean, the Palestinian people, especially in the Gaza Strip, West Bank, whatever's going to happen there, who knows? But the people in Gaza, like, holy fuck. Talk about like, I don't understand. If you're alive, thank God, run for your life. But like, if you're alive, you start your life over. Like, you can rebuild, but I don't know what's going to happen to all those people. What is it? 1.2 million people, 1.8 million people.
We're going to help them, man. We're not going to leave them alone. I mean, we're going to arm them, and we're going to fight Israel back. And we're going to remove it from the face of the earth if we have to. That's what's going to happen, man.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a maybe statement. It's still an opinion statement. Like, there's no real evidence to support the fact that Israel is going to suffer military defeats. I just don't. I've been there. I've seen it from the north to the south. I don't see that country losing any type of military conflict. It's a military state. They have attack helicopters flying around the country all the time. Everyone's in the military-industrial complex there. It's a big business. I read a Wikipedia page. There's like 60,000 people that work for the Israeli manufacturing industry that make weapons. They make their own weapons. So the whole thing about military aid is always a scam. It's to get free shit. But they make enough weapons to do whatever they got to do to stay alive. That's essentially what every state does. But Hamas, in my opinion, miscalculated on October 7th and made a huge military strategic blunder that they thought was going to create a World War III. Very apocalyptic terrorist attack. One of the biggest terrorist attacks, of Islamic jihadist success in a long time. Like,
Not a terrorist attack, brother. It was just, they want their land back, Their land is invaded.
It's not cowboys and Indians. This is Islamic jihad terrorism.
No. This is about Palestinians who lost their land, They have lost
I get it, but
country.
that's still political. In terms of law and counterterrorism, and in terms of the ultimate decision to go to war, which will cost you your life if you pick up the sword.
What law gives them the permission to invade the land?
Individually, now the law applies to everyone individually. That's a fact.
I think the Palestinians had a pretty intelligent battle strategy, but it heavily depended on one assumption, and it was that the Israelis were going to respect international law. Because, you know, the Palestinian army, they do have a uniform, right? But of course, all of the soldiers aren't in uniform attire. So yes, they blend into the civilian population. And if you do respect international law, then you're not going to fire upon the civilian population. So I think that they knew there was a certain level of xenophobia that existed and still exists, obviously, within the government. So they expected, you know, a brutal response. And that's why they took the hostages. Because, you know, if Israelis would go as far as to trade 1,000 prisoners for one soldier and everyone in Israel is a soldier, right, then you must really value Israeli life. So if we kidnap a bunch of fucking Israelis, then the assumption is you aren't going to just come through and carpet bomb, right, our territory, because that would, of course, be at the expense of your own people. Only those people, little did the Hamas fighters know, they were a sacrifice the Israelis or the government officials within Israel, I should say. It was a sacrifice that they were willing to make for what they would gain in the end, which is an expanded territory. That whole place is essentially, you know, officially speaking from a U.S. perspective, Israel. Palestine, they have their own elections. They have their own police force, their own military, or Gaza specifically. They have their own police force, military, elections, even border, but somehow they aren't recognized as a state by America. Why this is the case, it's no mystery to me. I see it as white supremacy. But I think the Palestinians had a pretty good strategy. But unfortunately for them,
how can you say it's a good strategy when the Gaza Strip is now a dust parking lot, for God's sakes? How was that a good strategy on October 7th to go and do a raid and kill 1,200 people?
I mean, in theory, right, had the Israelis respected international law, they would have had to conduct a ground invasion, which means that you have to fight the Gazans on their home turf. And of course, they built a network of tunnels, right, that stretch for miles, that they know better than you do because, of course, they operate in this area all day and night. So whilst you might think you have a layout of the environment, they have a way better layout than you. They probably know corners that you don't know about. So, you know, it didn't really seem like an appealing idea to any Israelis.
I mean, cause and effect. What is the effect? Is the effect a good effect of your hypothetical good strategy? I would say the proof is in the pudding. So obviously, you know, your opinion is wrong.
I mean, listen, ultimately, your decisions should be judged by the results they bring about. I think that's how history judges all military campaigns, right? What did you achieve in the end? Type shit. But, you know, in looking at the initial assault,
Nobody likes to hear this.
I think they were using their brains. Like they
weren't
just,
okay.
You know, impulsively attacking the state of Israel.
I mean, look at Mahatma Gandhi, and he defeated the British Empire, which was the world's biggest empire up until that point. And they had the biggest military, and their whole society was militarized. And Mahatma Gandhi defeated them through a peace movement of non-resistance and peaceful marches and trolling them, not attacking them, but trolling them. And they left, and they gave it all back to the Indians, and now they're the world's largest democracy. So my point is, you know, Islamic jihad and counterterrorism and all these things, they're just words. But, you know, if you look at this in terms of like an online video game and war and strategy and history and all this shit, the fucking Palestinian Hamas, ISIS terrorist cocksuckers fucked up on October 7th, and they cost over 40,000 of their fellow citizens' lives in an Israeli counterattack. From a military strategy with no political bias, This was a huge
Jefferson,
fucking blunder.
shame on you.
No, bro, I'm telling you the facts. You can shame me, but you won't like the facts.
The terrorists is the American government and the Israeli government, the apartheid baby killers. You're supporting the baby killers, brother. Yeah.
Use all the dirty words you want. It won't even come close to describing me. You won't. You can't disgrace me or humiliate me personally. It will be irrelevant and pointless. But the proof is in the pudding. The aerial photographs don't lie. The fucking satellite photos do not lie.
The way you have perceived this conflict is completely wrong, and it shows me that you have zero knowledge about this conflict, because the way you put ISIS and Hamas in the same place,
it's a fucking New York deli sandwich.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You may not like the proof. You may not like that I'm making a New York deli sandwich with a lot of different meats.
No, Jeff. This is nothing personal. This is not how. I don't like your analysis. This is about you not knowing nothing about this conflict. Your knowledge about this conflict is like zero.
Listen, it doesn't make a difference. It's gang-on-gang warfare. It's territorial conflict. It's tribal conflict. It's gangs on gangs.
Is actually very wrong.
Listen, it doesn't make a difference. I seen the Supernova EDM fucking shootout videos of all these innocent people getting shot. You can't tell me that October 7th wasn't a giant fucking terrorist attack.
Maybe your perception about this conflict is
it's not this conflict. This is tit for tat, tat for tit. October 7th was a giant fucking blunder.
No. It was an ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine.
I get it. Nobody wants the fight, but what I'm telling you is the response to October 7th is so overwhelming and so catastrophic to the people in the Gaza Strip. You can't come to grasp with the reality on the ground.
ISIS and Hamas together.
My hummus sandwich died, Michelle. A terrorist battery strike operator turned my phone off. I forgot to plug it in. We lost our connection, which is a perfect time to leave and go to the gym. What do you think, Michelle? I think I made my point. I think I had my phone in that room. I thoroughly hypnotized them all. They're probably all fucking shaking, all pissed off. Everybody wanted to get a piece of my New York pastrami sandwich.
I just want some fries.
Ugh, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I'll skip the gym and just go get dinner.
I'm gonna go get some fries right now.
Fries now. We don't serve burgers. We just sell fries.
Yeah. That sounds like